bunch of clowns pointing things out. God, I hate people sometimes. Only a true genius like me can understand the true meaning of this video. Yeah, that's right. Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to EmKay. I'm your host, Robin, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/I am very smart. Look, I'm not a smart dude, but this subreddit really helps me get, well, a little bit better feeling about myself. So without much further ado, let's hop right in and have some funky laughs, huh? My neuropsychology report says that my ability to estimate the length of 1 minute is now in the low average, or in other words, my brain works so fast that everything else is in slow motion. That doesn't make sense. I'm a professional who has more educational accolades than 95% of people you know. Does that make me smart? No. It means I can think critically, and that is a lost art in the 5-second attention spans that most people have. Why do you only watch mainstream American low IQ movies? You should try some real art house films. I'm a cinephile, so I know. Dude, some of the worst movies I've ever seen have been cinephile-liked movies. No, some of them are just ass, dude. Just because it's black and white and has a bunch of stupid leafy awards on the trailer doesn't mean it's good. Did this guy say he was driving a BMW truck? That was my reaction too. It's funny because Beamer isn't even correct. That's the nickname for the bikes. Technically, the cars are referred to as Bimmers. Huh? But that does not cover the SUVs, which are in fact not trucks. Edit, LMAO, the downvotes. Sorry for the knowledge, you bunch of biscuits. Edit 2, you Muppets fail to understand that what everyone says and what's correct are in fact two different things, but I hardly expect much more from this crowd. Okay. I just got done with about an hour-and-a-half nap. Before that, I read for 8 hours. This is why I'm smarter than just about everyone around me, because you all like this garbage. I watched Black Lotus this week. That was the first time I turned on my TV. Last week, it'll be the first time I turn on this week for the same program next week. Moral of the story, manage what you consume, or what you consume will consume you. Jesus Christ, I bet you thought that turn of phrase was real cute, huh? I love being from New Zealand. Most of the world have no idea that we come up with some of the world's greatest inventions. No offense to anyone else, please. But you're talking to a forensic music psychologist? What the hell does that mean? I'm smart too. Just said most people have been tested with IQ scores. Skeptical. So am I. My IQ has been tested twice at 166 and 167. Not on stupid internet websites, professional psychotherapist. That puts me about 7 points ahead of Einstein. I mean, I'm not comparing myself to him. Yes, you did. I'm absolutely no physicist and an amateur scientist, but my skills lay elsewhere. And my favorite, Einstein. This is making literally no sense. This is just incoherent. Is this in English? No, this is a bit irrelevant. I knew he was known for being arrogant, but he wasn't. But that's different, so am I. My favorite quote he used to use often is when someone interrupted his work and he would just ignore them and say irrelevant, legend. None of that made sense. Can you speak English? Finally, someone's spoken up. There are so many uneducated people with sheep-like mindsets. As a researcher myself, it aggravates me to see that quote become normalized and regarded as basic knowledge. Thank you for this. Made my day when you drilled it into their small brains. Trying to be more positive, but recently I was on a long plane ride and almost every normal-looking adult was watching like Black Widow or Jungle Cruise as their in-flight entertainment. Baby food culture. They weren't watching with their kids. They were watching it very specifically alone and for themselves. A 40-year-old watching Jungle Cruise or Cruella? This used to be considered embarrassing. If on a plane I was forced to either endure your feature film or sit next to you while you whined about what other people were watching, I'd start a fire in the lavatory so the air marshals would arrest me. And hey, look, Jungle Cruise didn't win many awards. It's not up for any at all. It was not a fantastic movie, but I own a steelbook. How about you suck my ass, you arrogant. All of the most stupid people I've ever encountered have been on this platform. I really don't meet that many idiots in my country, though. I tend to surround myself with intellectuals in real life, so I'm always blown away with how stupid the vast majority of people online can be. Everyone! Science has proved a lot of biblical events. Even though your uncultured intelligence of a fraction of actual science disagrees, doesn't mean you're always right. Since I'm guessing you're probably a Gen Z kid that thinks he's better than everyone without religion, we wouldn't be here. Literally every culture has been based on religion. Even atheism is a religion because it's an ideology that nothing exists. What, really? My brain's a multimedia collage. Music, pictures, animation, text, calculations, dialogue, remembered smells and tastes. And there's ongoing internal discussion of several analytical viewpoints debating things constantly. I thought everyone's brain was like this. Oh my god, this guy can remember, smell, and taste. He can see moving pictures in his head. A most excellent read. I highly recommend this for the erudite, I'm not even gonna bother trying to read these words that have no place in society anymore. The intellectuals of society, if you will. As of late, I've grown rather bored of reading my usual Descartes and Shakespeare. I attempted one of those modern novels, John Ronald Reuel Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. You can imagine my disgust when I found it to be nothing short of an... Dude, the phrase permeating with blasphemes and hideous subhuman creations means nothing. Who are suggested to be superior to our own human race. I was distressed. I had no reading material. But eureka! I had it. Instead of reading modern literature, I would read antique literature, the classics. I've never seen anybody say J.R.R. Tolkien. I understand how you could think he's modern, but I've never heard that before. Didn't the guy die like in the 60s or something? I don't know, man. That's just... It's a fantasy novel. You're such a dork. As far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as the space-time continuum. Hence, there's nothing to be broken. Space-time cannot exist as a merger of space and time because space is an empty void that doesn't even have virtual particles, and time is the temporal interval between events. Oh my actual god. I love Discord scientists. They're great. The internet has allowed the stupid to organize. We, the smart, kind of shot ourselves in the foot. We made technology so easy to use that now the dummies are turning it against us. Back in the day, you had to be at least slightly tech savvy to run a blog. Now any idiot has Facebook. So now the dummies are forming into a 7 billion strong swarm of stupidity that's killing our planet and species. And we, the smart, unfortunately, have morality too advanced to allow us to purge the unintelligent from the species. This is why our species is 7 billion strong, huh? How many smart people are there on your world? I swear to God, these people live so far detached from reality it hurts. Fat lose is much greater during oxidative phosphorylation when hormone-sensitive lipase is present. Not to mention the obvious cutting 300 calories from the maintenance energy will cause a dip in metabolic rate. You just spoke in tongues to 98% of the population of this thread, so you know... Cool. Going to have to relay this message more simplistically to get your message across. I know, bro. Unfortunately, I'm a combination of Spock and Attila the Hun? Big muscles with a bigger brain. Obviously, I don't have a lot of friends as I have trouble relating to people, but as a conciliation, I do hook up with a lot of hot, trashy strippers. Oh, dude, you're such a nerd. Oh, man. I'm sorry, some of them just kind of blow me away. The comedy of my streaming career is that I've always been 100% correct in every debate, but my opponents and their audiences are literally, this is not a joke by the way, too stupid to understand what I say. Literally way more hilarious than any of the shit that I tweet. Wait. You've won 100% of your debates because no one can understand you. That is some next level big brain play. You know what? Editor, can we get a f***ing applause sound effect in here? You can't lose any arguments when no one understands you. Bravo! Look at this clown go, man. When Superman came to Earth and was adjusting to the Earth's atmosphere, he used to struggle a lot. He couldn't breathe, he could see inside you, and hear voices other people could not. Same with me. My body struggled to handle my brain because it was meant for lesser minds. But then my body adapted. My weak physical stature ensures my intellectual stature stands tall. I love these screenshots of texts. What kind of conversation were you having where this person felt the need to blurt this garbage out in this many messages? No, really. Is this a friend of yours? Is this your embarrassing cousin? There's so much that I would love to know about. A kid I used to go to school with who always brags about his IQ. The moment when you're bored so you learn the entire periodic table? Dude, isn't learning the whole periodic table a requirement in high school or some shit like that? Maybe not the whole thing, but I remember being taught the whole periodic table in like almost every grade past 8th. Come on! The fact that she continued lying after the head teacher specifically said there's a camera, and there's a camera there is crazy? What? That's what poor uneducated people do. It's part of their culture. Lying is so heavily ingrained in how they live that even when it's obvious it's a lie, they just double down on it. You see it on police interceptors type shows all the time. The problem is, they don't know they're thick. They think their cerebral state is normal. They don't know that most people have the ability for reasoning and critical thinking. Yaha. What's the difference between an i9 and an i7? A silly question to ask. The variance between the worst and best of i7s or i9s is so large that you can't compare the entire generation of chips. Kinda like asking the difference between 2 generations of a car, but not being a car person, so not being able to understand non-aesthetic features. Like, the only thing I can tell you that you'd understand is i9 is better than i7, but you already know that. So you're asking a question you won't be able to understand the answer to. That's really all you need to know at the end of the day? Dude, honestly, i3, i5, i7, i9, i412, they're just model and generation names. I mean, come the f*** on. Technically, the generation names are the giant string of numbers that comes afterwards, but they're just models, dude. These guys fancy themselves some of the smartest people ever, right? But I guarantee you they've never even thought about opening an A+ book or something along those lines. They're like $4. They're huge, but honestly, you do yourself a favor by reading through one of them if you're really bored. Why can't I get the EN Wordle thingy on my second attempt and the what? Takes me at least 3 or 4? I'm curious, what's the linguistic theoretical explanation for that? I still don't know what Wordle is, and I don't understand what's going on. But hey, perfect note to end today's video on, am I right, ladies and gents? You know I'm right. Always remember, if you even somewhat enjoyed today's video, consider dropping a like down below. And if you really enjoyed today's video, well, make sure to get yourself subscribed and click that bell icon while you're at it. And if you want to see or hear more of yours truly, you can check out the links in the description down below. And until next time, we'll be seeing ya.